Okay, so hello everybody, welcome back to another session on CSS. So this session is all about pseudo classes and pseudo elements, and we are going to understand how this pseudo classes and elements works. First of all, please do let me check if I am live. Okay, perfect, I'm live. Great, so let's get started. This session we are going to understand CSS pseudo classes and element. This is lesson number 39. If you do not know what is happening here, and if you guys are new here, then let me tell you that this is a playlist which is going on. All free content we are providing for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Later on, again, we are going to start up with by our frameworks, Bootstrap framework. Soon it's gonna start, and we are also going to start with the libraries and other things. Okay, so if you do not know about me as well, then let me tell you about myself. My name is Ritwik Raj and I'm a corporate trainer. I've also worked as a research analyst, content strategist, and a subject matter expert in most of the tech companies. I have 3+ years of teaching experience and I have trained graduates and corporate employees in Recent and Capgemini. I've trained more than 30K students till now, and it's increasing day by day. The subjects which I take is mostly into front-end development, back-end languages, database languages, mostly into full stack development, and I also do take tips and tricks on how to crack interviews, right? So soon I'll be coming with a session for all of these things, and there's very good news for you all that you can use my code RIT10 to get a free Relevel sample test paper. Now, if you do not know what is Relevel, then don't worry, I'm going to tell you right away after this 1 minute. But if you do know what is Relevel, then you must be knowing that there's a test which you have to give. And for the preparation of that test, you can use my code RIT10 to get a free level sample test paper, so that it will be really, very helpful for you to understand what type of questions can be asked in the test. And yes, it will give you a boost up, correct? So if you do not know what is the level, then let me tell you about it. Many times what happens is candidates miss out on a great opportunity due to multiple reasons. It can be because they don't have the correct degree. Maybe they have done BSc or BCom and they want to jump to IT field, or maybe their marks are not good, or maybe they're from colleges which is tier 3 college. So many of the multinational companies are not coming in those colleges to hire you guys or to get you interviewed, right? So you have applied for 50, 60 companies but haven't been called for even a single interview. The reasons can be anything. So here comes Relevel as a savior. It's India's first test hiring platform by Unacademy, which is helping job seekers find their dream jobs, so you can get a job basis on your skill and talent. Okay. Good afternoon, Rajiv Kumar Ati, and everybody who is watching this session. Good afternoon. Sorry. So you can get a job on the basis of your skill and talent. Basically what will happen is you have to give a free test, right? This test will be free. This test will be of 1000 marks. So you have to score above 700 to get qualified, and your profile will be created, and this profile will be sharing with our client companies, which are over 50+ companies, including top startups and unicorns like Upgrad. So we'll be passing it over, and then you will get interviewed and get hired. Okay, suppose that you're scoring below 700, no problem. After 30 days you can reattempt the test. Okay, now suppose if you are not ready for giving the test, then you can watch these live sessions which is going ahead in this CodeBeyond channel, and you will be able to upskill yourself. Also, there's one more option, that is using my coupon code. You will get a Relevel sample test paper, right? So you'll get an idea what kind of questions will be asked in the test, so that it helps you to get a score above 700. Cool. There are 1000+ job positions across business development, front-end development, back-end development. How to register yourself in this, we'll tell you. So if you're watching the video, you can go to the description. You can find one link there, right? Click on that link and you'll be going to relevel.com, where you have to sign up yourself by just putting your mobile number and OTP. After that, what you do, you have to choose from this test which skill do you have. If you have the skill on front end, choose that test and select it, then move ahead and book a slot when you want to give the Relevel test. Slots are limited, so I suggest you to book it fast. Okay, select it, and then you can fill the details to get the admit card. You can fill the full name, email ID, birth year, current state, gender, and after that you can put the coupon code, click on apply, click on create account. Your account will be created and the sample paper will be there. So you can go ahead and use the sample paper. This sample paper will only be given to you when you will use the coupon code RIT10. Okay, so make sure that you use that. Once you get the sample paper, you can start preparing and get an idea what kind of questions will be asked, and then the sign up is done, registration is done, prepare for your test, and all the best. Suppose if you're not ready, as I've told, there are backend development, Python, SQLs, CP, DSA, so many sessions are going on and different educators are taking it. So go ahead and upskill yourself and then register. Okay. Also, please join the Telegram channel as well so that you get a notifications and update about all the live sessions when which educator is coming live, and also you'll get the code files there in Telegram channel as well. So please, we are building up a community. You can join there and you can get benefit out of all of that. Also, please subscribe the CodeBeyond channel if you have not done, because if you will do that, then what will happen is you'll get an update from and notifications in the YouTube app as well. And also, if you're liking the session, then please hit like and share it with all your friends so that they can also get to know that this free content is getting provided by Unacademy, that is in CodeBeyond YouTube channel. Okay, so let's get started with today's video. Today's sessions, we are going to understand pseudo classes and pseudo elements. So first of all, we are going to start up with pseudo class. So let me just bring back my Visual Studio Code. We were just understanding overflow.html. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put here pseudo class.html. This is the HTML file which I've created, and I'm just going to put one skeleton here. I hope you can see my Visual Studio Code. Cool. And here I'm just going to mention the title as understanding pseudo classes. Okay, in CSS. Again, this is a CSS session. This is a CSS property which we're understanding. And one of the things you've already understood about this. So I'm just making sure that you know the other things as well. Let me just open my browser and let me show you the browser, and let me run this in my live server. So here is it. This is empty right now because I'm not written anything in the code. Okay, cool. So let's get started. If anybody who is watching right now, and I think maybe less people are watching right now, so I'll just wait for 5 minutes. Let's see if some more people can join. Okay. So meanwhile, we'll try to understand how this pseudo classes works. Okay. Okay, cool. So I'll do something. Very easily, we will use one example and I'll try to understand how this appears. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to use a tag, which is anchor tag, and I'm going to use here one link. So let's say I'm giving here www.youtube.com. Cool. And I'll just close this and I'll write here YouTube. Fine. This is the link which I've given, and I'm not giving anything else, right? I'm not given anything else to this. So this is just a link which I've given. Okay. Now, if I go back and show you my browser, you can see that YouTube link there, right? If I click on it, YouTube will directly get open. Correct? That's what it is showing me. And also, if I increase this, this is in some other color. This is in some other color because I've already opened this. That's why it's in another color. Let's use something else because YouTube is already open, right? So it's already showing me in another color. So let me open something else. Let's say Twitter. Okay. Here I'm going to just write Twitter. Cool. Let's save this. Okay, fine. Let's use this one. Fine. And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the CSS. I'm going to use here style. And to this, I'm going to use a tag. Let's say that I'm giving here a background color. Okay, a background color is blue or yellow. Cool. Let's save this and you'll be able to see something like this. That is what we are expecting, correct? But now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put here a colon hover. Okay, so what is this hover? Colon hover means that if you hover your mouse to that particular element, which is an A tag, this is going to give you a yellow color. At first, it's gonna be white. So if I go back to my browser, it is now white, correct? But if I hover, it is becoming yellow. So this is something which is called as hover. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to come back and I'm going to write here again A, and I'm going to use something else. So you can see here there are a lot of options here. I'm going to use here link. Okay, and I'm just going to give here let's say background color red. I'm going to save this. Now if you look above, now if you look in my browser, it's already red. Why is it already red? Because I've given link. So link means from the beginning this should be applied from the beginning itself. So from the beginning itself it's gonna apply. When I'm hovering, it's not changing anything. Okay, now if I click on it, Twitter will open. Okay, now see, it's changing. So at first the link is the same thing what effect I'm giving, but as soon as you click it, it's gonna change everything. So you can see now hover effect is also working. So link is the first thing to give to the A tag, to the anchor tag. Next, what I'm going to do, just give me 1 second. I'm just opening my live session in my mobile itself so that I will be able to answer your code live chat also. If you have asked anything. Okay, perfect. If you have anything, please do let me know. Okay. Now, next what I'm going to do, A link is done. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use visited. Okay. And in this visited, I'm going to write color. Understand, this is not background color. This is just color. Okay. So I'm going to use here color. And I'm going to say here green. Okay. Let's save this. Now see, if I go back to my browser, already this is green. Why this is already green? Because I have already clicked on it. Okay, that's why it's visited. It's visited. That's why it is showing me that. Let's say I'm coming back to code. I've already clicked on Twitter, so it will not show me how does it work, right? So let's create some more links. Let's create now not for Twitter. Let's say I want to do it for Facebook. Okay. I'm doing it for Facebook. Now Facebook I have not clicked yet, right? So maybe I'll see the effect, correct? I'm going to save this and I'm going back to my browser. Twitter is green, but Facebook is not green. And you can see the hovering effect is not also working here. Now understand, we have written 3 things in our code. Waiting for after and before. Okay, yeah, I'll teach that also. Right now you can see I've used 3 things. I've used hover, I've used link, and I've used visited, right? So hover, you know that how hover works, right? But before hover, link should work. What is link? Link is a normal link. So this is a link. This link is not even clicked now. Okay. So for link, what I gave background color red, that's why the background color red is there. If I click this, it's going to open me the Facebook. I think my profile will open. So I'm going to go back. And now you can see that it's now green. Why is it green? Because in my code, I have written visited to be green. So once you visit that web page, it has to get green effect. So it's giving me green effect. Okay. Coming back to my browser. Now yellow is also happening. The hover effect is also happening. Cool. This is what is your 3 things: the hover, link, and visited. How can we target this pseudo selectors using JavaScript? You can do that. You can use inside in a function. Okay. Inside the function, you can write these by giving CSS. And in CSS also you can do, I don't know why you want to use it with JavaScript. You can use it directly in CSS as well, right? So A, and here I'm going to write the next one, which is active. Now understand what is active. Active means that the web page is still open. Somewhere it is opened. Okay, that is what is active. So let's say I'm writing here color blue. Let's save this. If I see here, nothing is happening. Even if I click this, it's opening. But can you notice when I'm clicking it, it's becoming blue. I've clicked it. I've not, left my mouse. I've not left my mouse. Its mouse is not up. It's down. I've clicked my mouse. till the time I'm clicking it, it's blue in color. So that means the page is in active state. It's ready to give you or provide me the page. Once I leave it, my Facebook is gonna open. Okay. So active means when you click it, it's gonna be blue. That's what is your active. So there are 4 things which you have understood: link, visited, hover, and active. Okay. Let's come back and let's understand something else. So let's say here what I'm writing a class, and to this class I'm just saying zoom. Okay, a class I have given here zoom. Okay, href is twitter.com, Twitter, and to this class, that means the zoom, I'm going to provide something. So I'm going to say here zoom is only to one anchor tag. Okay, please understand. So here let's say I'm giving over, and to this I'm going to give not color, font size. I'm going to increase it to 22 pixel. Let's change the color also. So let's say the color which I'm giving is blue, violet, something like this. Fine. No, this color is already there, right? So let's say I'm using yellow, green. Fine. Okay, now what's gonna happen? So see, the hover effect I've given again to this one, to only this one, not to the A. See, hover effect I've already given, background color should change to yellow, right? But again, I've given an hover effect and I've said font size should also increase. So let's do one thing. First of all, I'll comment this. Let's go back to my browser. Let's show you my browser. Let's save this. Now my hover yellow will not work. See, hover yellow is not working. Yellow is not becoming, right? But something else is happening. What is happening? Whenever I am hovering, the font size is increasing. Okay. And the text color is changing to yellow green. Right? Okay. Suppose if I don't want to give the background color, let's say I'm commenting the link portion because I don't want to give this red color. Now it looks more amazing. Right? The web page is in zoom. I'm going to make it look 100%. This is the normal view. Okay, this is small, so it gets zoomed. Can you see? So that's what is your font size. That means you can also increase whatever you want. Okay. Now coming back to the code, let me close this and let's say that I'm uncommenting this. Okay. Now hover is also to the A and the hover is also to the zoom. So which is going to get followed? I'll change this to something else color so that you can see the effect. I'm going to put here red. Let's save this. Let's go back to my browser. Now if I do here Facebook, it's giving me yellow. Why? Because Facebook is not having a class zoom and the background color which I've given to the hover is yellow. But in Twitter, the background color is yellow and the font size is increasing and the color is red. So all 3 things are happening. Let's come back to the code. This thing is also happening and these 2 things are also happening. What if I write here background color again? What if I give here background color again? What will happen to this Twitter thing? Let's see. If I go back, if I hover into this, yellow. If I hover into this, it's becoming green. Okay. So it's not following the single hover. It is following where I've given the class. So please understand one thing here. Why is it following green? Because of this class. A colon hover is smaller than dot zoom. I can also write a dot zoom. There's no problem in that. Okay. But you're using class. That's why it's giving priority to this. Cool. So class will be having a higher priority. Fine. Okay. What if I write here ID and I give here zoom 1. Okay. And here I'm going to do hash zoom 1 and I'm going to give here background color pink. Okay. So what's going to happen? Because I've given ID now, and now there are three background colors for the same thing. Pink, green, yellow. What's going to follow? So if I save this, if I go back to my, one second, I have not given here hover. If I go back to my browser, now it's giving me pink, right? It's not giving me anything else. Now understand, when I taught you types of CSS, I taught you about inline, internal, and external. And I think I did mention that inline is having more priority than internal, and internal is having more priority than external, right? And that's why you understood that if we are putting any same kind of property in inline and internal and external, the most priority is given to inline, so that will be only followed, right? The same thing happens with types of selectors. We have different kinds of selectors. We have ID, we have class, we have group, right? And you can see here a perfect example of what is happening. I've used ID also, I've used class also, I've used element selector also, right? Which has been given the priority? The priorities has been given to the ID, and then class, and then element. So make a note that the priority of types of selector is basically something like this. Okay. After that, all the group and all other selectors will come. Fine. So this is the priority for your types of selectors. This also we have understood today. Let me read some comments. Link means initial condition. Yes, link means initial condition. Hover means when we hover it. Yes. Active means when we have clicked our mouse. Yes, when we click our mouse, it's active. That means we are just we are just opening our web page. That's what is active. Visited means when we have visited it. Yes, correct. Okay, cool. ID has higher priority than class. Yes, it is. So we have understood these all things. Let me check what other things we can see. Okay, one very amazing thing. So I think I'm in my Visual Studio Code. Yeah. So here what I'm going to do, let's say I'm giving here a div element. Okay. And in the div element, let's say I'm writing here. Welcome to my session. Okay, just some random thing I've written. Welcome to my session. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put here div hover. Okay, and to this div hover, I'm going to give a background color. Let's say I'm giving here blue. Fine. This is hover effect. Let's say I'm giving blue itself. And here I'm going to give div again and some properties to it. So let's say I'm giving here background color again. Let's say I'm giving here it as green. And after that, I'm going to give here it as color white. So you can imagine how does this will appear. I'm going to give a padding. I'm going to give here, let's say 25 pixel, which is all over the boundaries. Okay, so 25 pixel. And the next thing what I'm going to do here is text align. So I'm going to put here center. Okay, let's go back to my browser. Let's show you my browser. Let's save this. You have this kind of thing. And we know that this will appear because text align was center and padding was 25 pixel, color was white and background color was green. Everything is there. Hover effect I have given blue. So this is happening here also. So it's not with only link. That means the anchor tag. It's not with only anchor tag. Basically, we use this thing mostly in anchor tag because we want to make the user experience a very good user interface. So when they click on any navigation link, they should be feeling it. They shouldn't be knowing that what they are clicking. Okay. That's why it is mostly used in navigation links, and that's why I try to use it in anchor tag. You can also use it in div and it will work. Cool. Any doubts still here? I'll take a 1 minute break and then we'll come back again. So please do let me know if you have any things. Any questions if you want to ask. Okay, so the next thing what we are going to do here is, already we have written some div and all of these things. What I'm going to do here, let's say I'm going to have one div, okay, and inside this div I'm going to put one paragraph. This paragraph I'm going to write here magic, and here I'm going to write over me. Okay, only this much I've written, and now I'll comment this because I don't want to make it messy. So here I'm going to write paragraph. In the paragraph I'm going to write display none. Now understand, when I'm writing display none, that means it's hidden. We have seen this in our previous session, like today itself, 1 hour before I took this session, I explained about display none. So that means it will not be visible. Next I'm going to use background color and I'm going to say red. So P only the paragraph, right? Padding I'm going to give, let's say 20 pixel, that will be enough. And for div I'm going to give over P. Now understand what is this. If you do not know what is this is descendant selector that I have taken session again. In the previous session I took this where I explained you about descendant selector. So I hope you must be knowing what it does. So descendant selector, if you don't know what it does, let me show you. So what was the name of it? Descendant selector. Yes. So select all P element inside div element. It will select all the P element inside div element. That's what is your descendant selector. So I have written here one div element inside which P is there. So it's going to select that. To this, I'm giving an hovering effect. Let's say I'm giving an hovering effect which is block. Understand what I'm doing. Before P is hidden. After hovering, P will be coming up. It will become a block, right? So understand what I'm doing. This div is first of all hidden, not div, basically the paragraph is hidden with the background color and with the padding. But as soon as I hover into the div, the P element will be appearing. So let me go back to my browser. Let me show you my code. This is what is coming. Please remember that I'll remove it. You'll get confused. Let me remove this part. Cool. Okay. Now hover over me. So if I hover, you can see the paragraph is coming up. That's magic. I have just written it. It's not a magic. It's just the logic. Okay. So the logic is that right now paragraph is not there. Paragraph is basically hidden because I've written display none. So it's also not taking the space. But as soon as I keep my mouse here, because I've written the hovering effect, that's why my paragraph is now considering it as a block and it is appearing. If you look at inspect also for this, if I click here, let me show you the code first of all. You will see something inside the code also what is happening. So this is my thing and you can see here this code, right? So it's written here over me and then magic. So it is happening. Cool. So this is also one of the thing which I'm going to show you. Now, any doubts in this one, please let me know. Otherwise, we'll move to the another kind of what is this? Pseudo classes, okay? Because you've already seen hover, link, active, and visited. I'll just write it here. Hover, link, active. What else? Visited. Okay. Let me comment this. Cool. Okay. Now we are going to use some other kind of pseudo classes. So what we are going to do here is, let me comment this. Let me comment this whole thing because I don't want to get it messy again. So let me remove these things. Okay, done. Okay, now So there is something called as first child, okay, and also there's something called as nth child. So we'll see how this works, okay. So in this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to write just a paragraph, and I'm going to say here that, let's say I'm writing here some of the words, just one word. Okay, this is my two paragraphs which I've written. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a div, and here also I'm going to create paragraph. Here I'm going to again write CodeBeyond and Ritwik. Okay, cool. So these two things are written here. One is inside div, the other paragraphs are normally written, okay. So now in this style, what I'm going to do, let me remove these things. It's not going to work because everything is commented. बता रहा हूँ before after भी, just wait. इसको भी बंद करते हैं. Okay, now in the style, what we are going to do here is we are going to write paragraph, and I'm going to give here first child. Okay, now first child, when you're writing, if I write here color blue, okay, now what's gonna happen, which first child, which particular thing is this p or this p, which one, right? So let's understand. I'm going to my browser, going to save this. So you can see only the CodeBeyond is getting the color of blue, right? Why is it only the CodeBeyond? Because first child means first child is always this one, right? Because if div is the parent, then this is the first child. And also I know that there's no div, but still this is the first child, correct? So on this and this, there is a blue color. That's what is your first child. Okay, we have something more, so now we'll see about that. Once again, yeah, first line. So first line is also something which is there. First child and first line both are similar, but first child is taking to the element, first line is giving to the paragraph. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm having one paragraph, I'll still copy this, okay, and in the pseudo class I'll just write a paragraph. So let's say I'm putting it here, okay, and this I'll just comment it because I don't want to apply this to all the paragraphs. So we have the paragraph, and here what we are going to do, p first child. So here I'm going to write p first line, okay, and color I'll just keep it as it is. Next thing what I'm going to do is I'll use font variant, I'll give you a small caps. So first line, okay, this is my paragraph. If I show you it in my browser, this is what is happening. So see, the paragraph is little bit much bigger, okay, because my page is a little bit zoomed. So if I make it minimize, whatever is the first line, whatever, see the words are also, if I minimize, it's changing, but the first line is always blue in color and in font variant, that is small caps, but other things are normal. So there is first line. So first child and first line we have understood. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's see something else. Okay, so we have something called as first letter. First letter, you must have understood. First letter is something the similar like your first line. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to comment this. I'm going to go down, paste this. First letter, okay, this first letter will do only effects on the first letter whatever you are giving, okay. So font variant, small caps, let's write something else, let's write font size, and let's give here XX large. Okay, let's save this. Let me first show you the web page. Let's save this now. So only the first letter is now having that effect. So you must have understood now all the web pages which are having, you know, starting from you can see the starting letter will be very bigger, right? That is how they do it. Fine. Let's come back to the code. Let's understand what next. So we have seen first line, first letter, first child. Let's understand something else. Okay, the before and the after. Okay, so let's use this once again. Am I stuck? Okay, cool. Fine. So here what I'm going to do, this is totally filled. Not this one. We were in this one. Okay, this one I'll just comment it. And I will also comment this. So before and after, let's understand. Fine. So what I'm going to do here, let's say I'm writing some random code here. So let's say I'm writing one H1. Okay. And in this one, I'm writing here, welcome to CSS. This is what is the heading which I've written. Next, I'm going to write one paragraph. And I'm just going to write here, let's say, my name is Ritwik Raj. Before this sentence, there is an image. There's an image. Okay, this is the paragraph which I've written. Next, again, what I'm going to do, before this sentence, right? No, before this heading, there's an image. Okay, so now I'm going to go to CSS and I'm going to put something. So remember, I have one H1 and I have one P. So I want H1, and before that I want one image to be there. So I'll use content. Okay, I'll use URL. In this URL, I'll be giving images / pic1.jpg. Okay, what will happen? This H1 is there. This sentence is there. This sentence is saying, my name is Ritwik Raj. Before this heading, there's an image. Before this heading, there'll be an image. Why before? Because I've written H1 before. So if I go back to my code, if I save this, let me show you what's happening. So you can see that this image is coming before heading, and then you have the paragraph, right? This image, I have not used img tag to do it, right? This image is coming because the image has been inserted with the use of pseudo element. The pseudo element is before. So that is why this is called as pseudo element, because you're inserting an element inside your web page. That's why it is called a pseudo element. See, all the first line, first letter, hover, active, link, visited, first child, all those things, are we including anything? We did not include anything, right? We did not include any particular element in that. That is why those were called as pseudo classes. But right now here you can see that I'm including a particular image itself. Okay, that's why it is named as pseudo element. So this is an pseudo element example. Now you'll be asking how this particular thing is looking. The image is very big because my image default size is big. That's why it is so big. If the image size will be smaller, then you will be able to see that. Okay, so don't worry about that. Next, what I'm going to do after. Okay, so again, it's the same thing. It's gonna just come after. So what I'm going to do in the code, I'm just going to change this to after. Okay, no, let's do something in this one before. Okay, let's say I have this H1. I'm printing it here also, and here also. Okay, 3 headings I've given. Okay, what I've written here, H1 before. That means in all the H1 before H1, that image should be shown, right? If I save this, if I go back to my browser, you can see here first image is coming, then H1, then paragraph, then again image is coming, then again H1, then paragraph, then again image is coming, and then H1. So every time wherever h1 you have used, before that it's coming. Now let's understand after. So I'll just change this to after, so that you understand that after every, why is it capital? After every h1 there will be this thing. So let me show you my browser. Let me save this. Let me go back above. After h1 there is an image, then there will be a paragraph. After h1 there is an image, then there will be a paragraph, and after h1 there is image. That is what is before and after. Dev, Madan and Hamad. I hope you guys have understood this much. Okay, and all others also. I hope you guys have understood this. So before and after is very easy. The next one, what you're going to do is we are going to use marker. Okay, you must have seen that in list, right? Let me show you. See, whenever we create any list, right? If it's unordered list or ordered list, we know that whenever we write something, wheat or any such particular let's say rice, and let's say maize. Okay, something we have written here in UL. If I save this, you are very clear what will happen, right? Because you know this. So I'm getting everything in black. Suppose I want to make it appear as a red color, right? Appear it as a red color. So what I'm going to do? I'm going to just put simply here, I'm going to put here li, I'm going to put here color, and I'm going to say red. Cool. Let's save this, and you'll be able to see everything is red, right? But I did not want this. I wanted only the text to become color, not the bullet. Or I want the bullet to be getting colored and not the text. Why? How can I do that? So let's understand how we'll do that. Okay. So in that case, what you have to use when you're doing something like this, when you're using a UL, or let's say OL, right? When you're using this, what you have to do, you have to go back to the code, and here you have to just say marker. Okay. In the marker, I have written color red, and I'm also going to change its font size. Okay. Let's go back to my browser. Now let's save this. So you can see what's happening. The marker is just the marker. Okay. That marker. The marker font size is increasing and the color is also changing. But the other text is the same. It's the black in color. Right. So that is what is your marker pseudo element. Okay. Now we'll try to see selection. So selection also we'll try to see in the same example. I'm going to comment this, and I'll also comment this portion. I'll go above, and there I'll write this because you will be able to see the style and the code also at the same time. So in here, what I will do is, let's say I'm writing here one heading. This text is having some magic. Okay, I'm just writing one h1. This text is having some magic. Okay, let me give some exclamation marks here. h1. Now this is h1. Okay, now understand, marker will only get applied when you use any list. Markers are always those markers, right? 1 2 3 or bullet point, something like that. Those are always called marker. Nobody asked me in the live session doubt in the live chat that why you have not written any element here. See, in after I have written h1, in first letter I have written one thing here, in before also I wrote some element here, but in marker I have not used, because marker is universal. Marker will be only one thing. Marker is not considered in a text or something else. Marker will only get applied when you will use any marker. Marker can come only in list. That's why it was working. Similarly, we have something called as selection. So selection, what it does, whenever you select something, anything whenever you select is gonna do some changes. So let's say I'm giving here a color white and background color black. Cool. I have not written any element here, okay? And I only have one element, which is h1. Okay, so let's do something. Let's go back to my browser. Let's save this. I have this in black color. If I'm clicking on this, can you see it's giving me a black and a white color, right? Normally, if I don't give selection, it's gonna give me a blue color, right? But now it's giving me a black color because I have written that. So this is what is selection. Now imagine that I have a paragraph also down below. Let's say I'm writing here, my name is Ritwik Raj. I'm going to save this, going back to my code. If I select this, this is also going to be having the impact of selection. Now, if I write here h1, and if I save this, and if I go back, now if I select the paragraph, it is not having that property. It is not having the black background and white color property, right? It is a normal one, but in this one, it's there. So I hope you have understood what I'm trying to convey. Okay. So these were the all pseudo classes and pseudo elements. I hope you don't have any questions, and I don't think you have any doubts. We have still 15 minutes left. So we'll try to do one more coding. Okay. One more example we'll see. And that example is basically, just 1 second, I'll let you know. Okay, yeah. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to comment this. And also I'm going to comment this. Now I'm going to write something else in my body. So here what I'm going to write, I'm going to scroll down, and here I'm going to write paragraph. I'm writing my name is, okay. And then I'm going to give something here. So let's say I'm giving here I, okay. And I'm writing here Ritwik Raj. And I am taking sessions. Okay, this is what I've written here. I'll copy this and I'll paste it again. Fine. Now look at this, what I'm writing in this style. So I'm writing P. Inside P, whatever descendant, that means the child is there. So inside P, what is the child? I, correct? So to this I want something to be done. First child, I want color to be blue. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here, the selector which I'm choosing matches the first I element in all P. Okay. Let's say I'm putting this I here as well and here as well. Let's go back to my browser. Understand that this I have given here also, this I have also given here also, and here also. By now we should understand that if I'm giving color blue, it will impact to all eyes, right? Into all the eyes. But have a look. If I save this, only the first Ritwik Raj is getting blue. Why is it so? Let's have a look. If I remove this first child, if I just write PI, this will be descendant selector. That means if I save this, my all Ritwik Raj will be blue, right? Because this was descendant selector. But right now what I'm using is first child. That means only the first child, only the first I element inside the P tag. So that's why only the first element, which was Ritwik Raj, and not this one is becoming blue. Okay. Selection is also universal. Yes. But you can also make it, that's what I've told you. You can use H1 to make it comply for only one element, right? To apply it for only one element. So it's also universal. It's also something like you can use the command. You can use the elements only for that individual element to get applied. You can do that. Okay, cool. So I think I have covered most of the things, and I hope I was clear for everything. I've taken 3 sessions continuous. The first one was on miscellaneous topics, right? Where I've covered position and overflow, display, all those things. In the second session, I also explained about the miscellaneous part 2, where I've explained about Z index and some of the other things as well. I think I taught you about combinators, right? Those things. And in this session, we have understood pseudo class and pseudo element. So I hope you have understood all of the things and you don't have any doubt. I'll meet you soon at 4 p.m. because 4 p.m. we'll have one session on JS, which is on sets and maps. So in JavaScript, we are going to understand sets and maps. And at night also we'll meet, but I'm not sure. I'm not going to be promising this because at night, I don't know, something happens to my OBS and it gets disturbed. So night का तो नहीं पता, but yes, 4 p.m. I'm coming in, and yeah, that's it. So join the Telegram channel. I hope you guys have understood. Please, if you guys have understood, then please give me a thumbs up and then go away. Okay. So please give me a thumbs up and join the Telegram channel to get update about all the recent activities like the upcoming live sessions and all the live sessions notifications you'll get there. Project files you'll get there, right? Everything you will get it there. Thank you so much, and also please subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is CodeBeyond, and be frequent to it. Every day I'm coming live, so some days, some emergencies I won't be, but yeah, mostly every time I'm coming live. So please follow this if you want to become a front-end developer and start giving interviews, because till now I've covered everything you should be knowing. JavaScript, some advanced topics are left that I'll be covering by 3rd November, so it will be done. Please like and share. I haven't got any thumbs up right now. Please give me a thumbs up and let me know that you guys have understood these all things. Okay, I'll meet you really soon. That is by 4 p.m. So Jitendra, Hamad, Saran, Rajiv, Amit, please give me a thumbs up so that I can understand you guys have understood all these things which we have seen. Okay. I hope you guys are liking the session. There's no something like, uh, you know, some disturbance or I'm not clear with concepts. If something like that, then please let me know.